What's up, guys? We got one here from Insolent Audits. Why plus size women say men are the problem and the difficulties of dating. Let's get into it.
This is the prompt of a man that just liked me on Hinge. If you don't already know me, I'm 30. I've never had a boyfriend. I grew up overweight. I lost weight. I gained weight. And I just talk about how all of that correlates with like my dating struggles. I am genuinely curious if you are curvier, bigger, and a guy likes you, and that is his prompt. Are you swiping left or are you swiping right? Because I feel like for me, my initial reaction is to swipe left. But I kind of wanted to bring the conversation on here and just hear what all of you guys think about it. Obviously, when you are a curvier, bigger girl, like dating can be scary. Like you want someone who is going to be like 100% attracted to you. Like that sounds so crazy that you would like X out on this person. I want someone to be attracted to me, but I don't want that to be the sole reason that they are attracted to me. Then again, I like get in my head and I'm like, is this me having like internalized fat phobia? Because everyone has their preferences, you know, some girls like tall guys, some guys like short girls, you know, people like blondes, people like brunettes. Sometimes like with this, I feel like there's a weird line that it teeters over. I had a guy recently say to me that he wants to feed me McDonald's. And I'm not shaming anyone. Like if everyone's into what they're into, but like that's not for me. Sometimes dating as a bigger girl, I struggle with this. Like, are you genuinely attracted to me or are you just like into this like one part of me? Sometimes as a bigger girl, I feel like we're made to think like, oh, like they're attracted to you. You should be happy about that and like give them a chance. But yeah, I just kind of wanted to bring it up and see what you guys all think about that. If you've been in the situation, how you feel about it. And yeah. All right, as always, I love you guys. Bye.
So, woman, mid-30s, hasn't had a boyfriend, grew up overweight, lost some, gained it back, and now she's stuck in this dating loop on Hinge. You know, and she's puzzled over whether to swipe left or right on a guy who finds her curves attractive. You know, the fact that she's battling this internalized fat phobia, which is her words, not mine, you know, while wrestling with the thought that a man might like her, for her curves, is just hilarious. You know, the audacity of a man actually liking what society has told him not to like. If a dude is into curvier woman, shouldn't that be the best scenario for her? No, it's about second guessing everything. Maybe it's internalized fat phobia. Maybe it's just a realization that her dating pool has limits and she doesn't want to admit it. But let's make one thing clear, is preferences do exist. Some like tall, some like short, some like thick, and some like thin. That's reality. You know, modern society has twisted this so badly that even being honest about attraction is considered problematic. You know, ladies, a man liking you for your looks isn't some conspiracy theory. It's called biology. You know, when she mentions the guy who wanted to feed her McDonald's, yeah, that's where you need to run. You know, not because he liked your body, but because this man was trying to turn you into a permanent fixture at the drive-thru. But seriously, why is the idea of a guy liking her curves such an existential crisis? You know, shouldn't she be relieved that someone finds her attractive? I guess welcome to modern dating.
So, I'm sitting in LA traffic and I just wanted to come on here and tell you guys about the special talent I have. A lot of people think I'm really talentless and I just, you know, use that one site where you sell fans. But I'm actually super talented. So I can burp on command. What's your special talent? Are you not impressed? I think it's pretty impressive.
Look, I didn't realize this was elementary school or a dad trying to make his kids laugh. Jesus. You know, and I get LA traffic is a special kind of hell. I've sat in it many times and it sucks. Apparently her talent is burping on command. Move over, Beyonce. We've got a new queen in town. You know, because in the social media world, selling burps is now considered a skill set. You know, so here's the harsh reality. If you're selling burps and fans on that one site, maybe you're the reason People think you're talentless. Don't worry, you're just another symptom of a society that's replaced actual value with the superficial. Why contribute to the world when you can burp into a camera? I mean, nothing says empowerment like gas emissions.
Something that I don't think people understand about being fat is like the ways in which this shows up in dating. Because I get a lot of comments here from like, you know, incel, dude, bro, gym, basement dwelling, whatever. You know the type, trolls. And they're always like, well, no one would ever have sex with you. No one would ever date you. And that's not quite true. It's more like you're just very aware that your options are limited, or that the ways in which you get approached are limited, or that like the things that are available to you more readily are limited. And I've been in a relationship for 4 years, but I still experience a lot of this because you can just feel that like you are not seen as valuable in the dating space. I know people say marketplace and that feels dehumanizing, but like to a point it's true. Like more than anything, what it is an awareness that like your stock is low, and that a lot of women have a power in having higher stock, I guess, that they can use to, you know, get things for free or get men to do things for them. Like I am aware of that even as somebody who is in a relationship. I am not looking for love. I have love. I am not necessarily looking for any of those other things either. I'm just aware that they're not available to me, and that is one way in which my body does limit me. And I think when you're a smaller fat person, you may be even more aware of this because it seems weird when your size does not exclude you from a lot of other things in life, that it would still exclude you from this. Like if you can do all these things, like you can fit in airplane seats, you can travel, you can go on amusement park rides and have fun that way. Like if you are not big enough that your size isn't preventing you from doing a lot of things, it can certainly be something that feels like a sticking place. And that has very much been my experience as a small fat person for my whole life.
You know, I mean, we're now at this level where women discuss being a small fat. I guess there's a hierarchy within the body positivity movement. I mean, welcome to 2024, where fatness even has tiers. I mean, she's right about one thing. There's definitely a market value in dating. You know, not to go too Econ 101 on you, but men and women are buyers and sellers in this game. You know, she's realizing her stock is lower, and that stings. You know, and the truth, yes, there is a dating marketplace, and you can't wish it away. Men generally prefer women who are fit, just like women prefer men who are tall, successful, or rich. You know, it isn't dehumanizing, it's reality. One of the bigger realities is she has far more options than the everyday guy, you know. But yes, as a small fat, she could still do things like fit into an airplane seat. You know, it's not the only seat men care about, and the fact that she acknowledges her stock is lower proves that she understands deep beyond that attractiveness and desirability are currencies. It's just hard to accept when society keeps telling you that everything is beautiful while your dating life is screaming the exact opposite.
And I have realized as I've gotten older that like I actually have so much privilege in that this is the main way that it has showed up. And the weird thing is, being fat doesn't preclude you from finding love or a relationship or getting married. It doesn't preclude you from having good sex or like exploring. But you are still probably materially going to get approached less than your thin friends. You are still going to have the awareness that there are a lot of people out there who won't date you or won't date you openly because of your size. You are still going to witness conversations where people talk about how dating somebody who looks like you or going on a date with someone who looks like you is their worst fear, and they find it personally insulting. And that's just a lot for the ego to take, no matter how much other privilege you have or how many aspects of it you do still have access to. There is like such an ego wound in me from like years of this that being in a relationship, no matter how happy and successful, like does not take that away. The older I get, the more I realize these differences are kind of subtle, and that they are like not necessarily that impactful on your material reality and like day-to-day life and happiness, but it's an ego wound and it hurts and it feels like, and then you're still subject to all the treatment that single people get in the world of like, why can't you find someone? And like, they're out there, just keep looking. And it feels so hopeless because you're told over and over again, and your life experiences very possibly support that you are not a desirable person to be with. But think about it this way. None of this would be a big deal if we didn't think about conventional attractiveness and desirability as being so central to a person's value, that like women literally measure their value off of that, and feeling like you don't have the thing that's like the number one source of value and power for women it feels terrible. I do think in the grand scheme of things, it's not as big a deal as other forms of discrimination, but it feels so uniquely terrible because you feel like you're also failing at your gender.
She acknowledges that being fat doesn't stop her from finding love. But it does impact the quality and quantity of the offers. Now, this is where reality does cut deep. I mean, she says she's happy in a relationship, but still feels the sting of being seen as undesirable by others. I mean, honestly, who gives a shit what other people think if you're in a relationship with somebody? Welcome to human nature, where no matter how happy you are, society standards will always creep in to mess with your ego. I mean, she does recognize that while she may have privilege, the truth hurt. Being overweight just isn't about health or relationship. It's about social perception. If the majority of people aren't interested in dating her because of her weight, that's their preference, not discrimination. Imagine that, people having taste. And she's right about one thing, though. Society has placed women's value in their looks. That's how it's been since the dawn of time. You can scream about equality all you want, but hypergamy and biology don't care about your feelings. I mean, look, at the end of the day, she could do something about her weight, eating right, exercising, being healthy, and working hard at changing that. A guy, he can't change his height without going through some painful surgery that may cripple him from ever walking right again. I mean, there's food for thought. So what's the takeaway? Society is lying to women. Women like these in the clips that we've just seen are struggling with reality because the narrative sold to them, that they're all equally desirable and beautiful. It's false. Men are biologically hardwired to prefer certain traits, and no amount of burping, hinge swiping, or body positivity movements is going to change that. Instead of fighting against this truth, the solution is simple: self-awareness. I mean, ladies, stop lying to yourself about what men want. If you're unhappy with your dating life, take control. Get fit, work on yourself, stop looking to society for validation. Men aren't complicated. They're attracted to beauty, youth, and femininity. It's that simple. I mean, look, ladies, if you want better results, play the game and don't complain about the rules. Anyways, guys, that's the end of the video here. If you like what you've seen today, hit that like button, share, and subscribe. Drop a comment down below what you think, and I'll catch you on the next one. Peace.